All right, thanks to those joining me live and to those who'll be joining me on Archive D-Style Boxing here to talk some quick. I've not done a wrestling video in quite some time, so let's go ahead and do this. Obviously, I used to do Raw and SmackDown, um, reaction videos, but I got so tired, it was exhausting watching it, so I had to stop watching. Okay, like it got to that point, and I've been watching it on and off, but not the most I've watched. I mean, I'll record it, and I swear to God, of course, I'm skipping through commercials. Okay, and so like I already have a system that automatically skips through the commercials anyway, right? So boom, and then I'll skip through a lot of shit. So I'm just being honest. Most of what I just skip through it. Okay, I grew up a big wrestling fan. Okay, like most kids, I grew up a big wrestling fan. I loved wrestling, right? I mean, wrestling would come on TV, and I'd watch it every Saturday morning, Sunday morning. I would get up early in the morning to watch WWE superstars, and obviously I was a kid. I get that, but these characters were just larger than life, and I watch wrestling today, and it's sad. It's just sad because the sad part is the actual wrestling, right? The move sets and all that are better than ever, right? For the most part, but they don't tell stories anymore in the ring. They're not good at that. Okay, they're just not. It's just a bunch of moves just for the sake of doing moves. Anyway, the reason I wanted to do this video is just to. I've been obviously. I'm subscribed to certain like channels that update me on my wrestling. Okay, like JD from New York. I actually like that guy's channel. Yeah, it's a great channel. All right, and I'll rather watch honestly his take, than the actual show itself. Right. And there's other like what culture because they have like those short, quick videos. I watch those as well. Um, so obviously, as we know, two of my favorite wrestlers are now gone. Right, Austin Aries is gone. Right, he's been gone, and Neville is gone. He's gone. I was waiting for the day to hear that AJ Styles is leaving. I was waiting for that day. And then not only that, I am in amazement week after week. After every pay-per-view, I go and I read the spoilers or whatever, and then I'm in shock. What are you shocked about? They're still trying to force feed Roman Reigns down people's throats. They're still on that. Like it's like every time I turn around, it's the same story. It's for what 4 years now? What is it? 3, 4 years? I mean, there's other wrestlers that they have a bad month and then they'll never give them another shot at the top ever again. They flop. That's it. It's over. Roman Reigns could consistently fail at the top for 4 years, and they'll give him opportunity after opportunity. The machine will get behind him. They'll give him title shots. They'll pair him with popular wrestlers. They'll have him beat all the big names. They'll have him retire The Undertaker. We know that it's like we know that they want him to beat Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. Like we know that's where you're going. Like why you play? Like this is stupid. This is stupid. They're losing great talent and they're pushing horrific talent. And I don't even want to speak about Jinder Mahal. Jinder Mahal was the last straw. Not only do I think he's at best subpar in the ring, and that's me being very generous. Okay, this is someone they were jobbing out. Okay, week after week after week, and then just randomly put him in a 5-pack challenge. He won it, and then won the title. I mean, it's just it's like I go back to the story, the good old fashioned the chase, going chasing after the title, that is. You know, the chase. Not Chase Bank, okay, the chase. All right? Sorry about that. But anyway, where is that? You know, where is this, guy makes a debut and then you're wondering how this guy's going to do when he gets in a winning streak. And then, he wins his first, mid-card title. Then he has a run with that and then continues on from there. Where is that? What happened to giving somebody the Intercontinental Championship to see if they're the real deal or not? They could just randomly decide one day to just give a guy a title shot and just make him champion when he's been a jobber for like his entire WWE career. Doesn't make sense. Okay. And then I don't know how they can mess up this cruiserweight thing. I don't know. I don't know how. I don't know how they mess it up. How did they mess up this cruiserweight thing? How do they fuck it up? They are unwatchable. That's how bad it is, right? They make the cruiserweight division unwatchable. One of the reasons I started watching wrestling again, I had heard about this cruiserweight classic thing, right? I even bought the WWE Network because of it. I even did that, right? And no, I did not watch the Mae Young Classic because I already know what's going to happen. I already know what the WWE does, okay? So I watched the Cruiserweight Classic. I saw some of the best matches I've seen all year, right? These were some extraordinary matches. Great stories being told, amazing moves being done. And there was no extraordinary backstory, just the quick montages before, the matches. You had an idea of who the top favorites were, but you weren't really sure who was going to win. I mean, this was a great tournament. There was a buzz about it. It felt like professional wrestling. And then what happens? What happens? What happens? They put the cruiserweights on Raw, and they fuck it up. Okay? They turn it into a fucking piss break division. That's what they turned it into. Oh, the cruiserweights are wrestling. Okay, it's time for me to go buy my popcorn. They turned it into the juggler division. Right? Here, let's put somebody to juggle stuff for you while we wait for the next important thing to pop up here on this Monday Night Raw. They went out of their way to make them feel different. The purple lighting. I mean, it's like purple rain everywhere. Purple rain, purple ropes, okay, purple lighting, and a dead-ass crowd, right? I mean, talk about, it reeked of intermission. That's what it reeked of. It just did. And they couldn't get anything done with the cruiserweight division. They couldn't do anything with it. Nothing. To the point where the guys that they were trying to put on there got miserable. Austin Aries, gone. Neville, gone. And instead of being like, what did the WWE have to do? I'll tell you what they had to do. Okay? I said this from the very beginning. Right? The WWE had to be serious. But Vince McMahon, okay, isn't serious. All right? Just the way Vince McMahon doesn't take cruiserweight serious, all right? You can feel that on TV. You can feel it. He doesn't take it serious, okay? His stupid advisor, what's Kevin Dunn, whatever his name is, he doesn't take shit serious. He doesn't take the cruiserweight division serious either. Just like they don't take Japanese wrestlers serious. They don't take wrestling serious, period. This obsession with comedy and this obsession with gay jokes and this obsession that Vince McMahon has, all right? It's hurting the product, right? It's just hurting the product. How the hell you get Enzo, right? And you have really you want Neville to drop the belt to Enzo Amore, really? I mean that was it's. I don't blame Neville for leaving. I just don't. I don't blame him. They don't give a shit about the work Neville has done all year. Neville was dealt a horrible hand, and he still put on some of the best matches of the night. He still found a way to do it. He's the only reason there was some interest, if any, in the cruiserweight division. All right? What did they have to do about the cruiserweight division? The WWE, all right? They're so behind in the times, it's not even funny, all right? And a lot of wrestling fans don't even get this. But you guys need to understand, the era and the age of the big man and all that is over. It's been over. I'm not saying there's no place for them. Of course there's a place. The biggest stars in boxing were Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather, right? The biggest stars in UFC have been guys like George St. Pierre and Conor McGregor. People don't have a problem accepting smaller athletes, right? But if your product, right, makes the smaller athletes, in many respects, seem inferior, right, to what you call the main event group, which are the ones competing for the heavyweight championship, then yeah, of course people are going to tune out, right? The WWE had to make the cruiserweight title a big deal, okay? How do you do that? I don't know. Maybe you should include it on WrestleMania. When you had Austin Aries, right, and Neville, both guys which can do things that many in the roster cannot do. You take, right, the chains off of their ankles and you let them go all out at WrestleMania, not in the pre-show. You make it a point that this is the cruiserweight division, a whole nother level of wrestling. You make it a point that it's the most exciting form of wrestling, period. Because they don't have anything else. They don't have the size. They don't have the strength. You start injecting a pound-for-pound mentality, okay? An Overton window, you start moving it so people can start understanding that. But no respectable, quote-unquote, little guy is going to go to the cruiserweight division because it doesn't get treated the same, okay? Not one spot in the main event on Monday Night Raw. Not one time. No, not that I remember. Not that I recall. Right? Not one time did they make it feel like it was a big deal. Not one time. Now, of course, I understand that it's not going to happen overnight. I understand that. But either you're going to do it right or don't do it at all. Okay? It's really that simple. There's a lot of things they could have done, right? Giving them their own little show, 205 Live. Like, what was that about? Nobody else has their own show. Okay, you don't have 205 Plus Live. You don't have Women Live. What are you doing? What an abysmal failure. What an abysmal failure. Look how hot things were after that cruiserweight tournament. Look at the matches that they put on in that tournament. Where the hell were those matches, okay, on WWE pay-per-views? Where the hell were those matches, all right, okay, on Monday Night Raw? And don't tell me it doesn't work. It worked in WCW. It worked beautifully at WCW. And I think in today's age, they're even more ready to accept it. But they don't have the vision. Vince McMahon is so out of touch, right? It's not even funny how out of touch he is. It's not even funny how out of touch Vince McMahon is. Vince still thinks that people want the big monsters and like, you know, like it's just, I don't know what to even say sometimes, right? The WWE needs to get, it's 2017, okay? They need to get with the times. They need to stop doing stereotypical wrestlers, okay? All right, they need to stop doing, you know, if a wrestler's French, they need to stop making them into this spoiled French dude, okay? If a dude is Irish, okay, they need to stop acting, you know, stop putting them in leprechaun clothes, okay? Like you get what I mean, right? If I don't understand, okay, for the life of me, why they can't let these wrestlers be individuals, right? You know, I don't get it. I just don't, right? They've improved with the women, right? But even that is a mess. I mean, they don't even see how ridiculous a lot of this shit is, right? They have like 4 women per fucking roster, and they call it a division. That's not a division, right? What are these? Are these 4 or 5 women in each roster just gonna play a hot potato with a fucking belt or what? There's no reason to separate the women in 2 brands. You don't have enough women, right? There's just not enough women in the roster. There just isn't. The cruiserweight division, again, I don't know where they went wrong. Okay, well, actually, I do, right? First of all, the first time they introduced, okay, cruiserweights to Raw, they had them in a 3-on-3 match. I mean, what the fuck is that? Like, it's just stupid. If you want people to take, you know what you do? If you want people to take the cruiserweight champion serious, first of all, right? Why not just call it the World Cruiserweight Championship? It's just a weight class. That's number 1. Number 2, okay? Why not, right? Put the cruiserweights against the quote-unquote heavyweights once in a while, but have them look respectable. Sometimes even win, all right? You can do that, right? You know, I don't understand, right? There is those guys that are in between, that they're not big monsters, but they're not cruiserweights either, that they could put the cruiserweights in there against. Now, let me give you an example, okay? When Rey Mysterio was cruiserweight champion, first of all, right, it was more respectable than it is now, right? And he didn't even have a division, right, in all reality. But before Rey Mysterio won the cruiserweight title, if memory serves me correctly, right, they put him in a match, which was, in many minds, the best match of the night. To me, it was. It was Kurt Angle versus Rey Mysterio at SummerSlam. They didn't have Kurt Angle squash him because he's a cruiserweight, right? Kurt Angle won in the end, but it was a competitive match. He took Kurt Angle, okay, a former WWE champion, one of the best wrestlers in the roster, right? He took Kurt Angle to the limit, almost beat him, and both came out, both, okay, got the rub. One guy won the match, and the other guy was a small cruiserweight who they were going to make cruiserweight champion, but he took Kurt Angle to the limit. There's no reason this can't work, okay? But it's just, they already did it wrong. They have to, it already has a stench to it. It's just, they got to just get rid of the cruiserweight division. Just get rid of it, right? It's like sayonara. Okay? Just, they need to get rid of it. Just bye, right? Either the weight classes and size is an issue in the WWE, in that universe, or it's not, right? It can't work both ways. It just can't. What else is going on with the damn WWE? What else can they do wrong? Like, I don't get what, like, how much more wrong can they get? You know, another thing, every single time, like, they'll bring in a character, right? It'll be a serious character, right? Especially a lot of these, like, you know, well, stay with me. And months down the line, they turn them into a fucking joke. They'll have them dancing. They'll have them do stupid shit that just kills the character, right? Far too many times, man, they don't have foresight. Okay, they think we have short attention span. They think we don't remember certain things, right? There is no, whenever you watch a show, right? Whenever you watch a show on, you know, whatever it is, CSI or whatever the hell you watch on TV, okay? When you watch one of these shows, notice something, right? Notice how the show happens, right? Like think of Game of Thrones, right? People watch the show, and then they always leave them with a cliffhanger at the end, right? Like, oh my God, right? And then you wonder to yourself, oh, next week, oh shit, I can't wait. Oh, I got to know what happens next week. The WWE, at least the last time I was watching it, never did that. Ever, okay? There was one week that I saw John Cena get accidentally clotheslined by his own partner, okay? I forgot who the partner was. The next week, the two dudes were talking like nothing happened. I mean, I don't know about you, but if somebody clotheslined me, even if it was an accident, we're going to have an issue. So you're telling me you just did that just to do it? There was nothing behind that, or what? You know, there's no continuation to the stories. None. Anyway, fuck the WWE, right? It's embarrassing, the level of stupidity that it's reached, right? It's embarrassing. Let's see if I could pull up the chat here real quick. See some people live on here. WWE. Holy shit. All right, let's see. The truth. WWE is a shell of its former self. Was it a fan of Neville's mic work, D-Style? Yeah, but Neville was on. Here's my thing, man. Everything's a balance, okay? Let me put it this way. If you suck at the mic, right? If you suck on the mic, you better be an unbelievable in-ring talent, right? And if you suck in the ring, you better be one of the best dudes on the mic, okay? And then we could go from there. Like if you're subpar on the mic, you better be better than subpar in the ring, and vice versa. Okay, that's just the way I see it. Not everybody is the entire package. Now, Austin Aries was. The only thing Austin Aries didn't have was height, right? He didn't have the size, but and there's other guys, obviously. But, you know, it just depends on how you put that. But, yeah. You say repeat for the women's matches, boxing fan. Okay, well, there you go. All right, T85. Mahal is WWE champion enough to turn the channel. Get ready for that Mahal-Cena match for the WWE title at Mania. That trash is coming. Yeah, I mean, Is that where they're going with it? I haven't been watching SmackDown, if at all, lately. SmackDown is embarrassing. Okay, I just can't watch it, and that's where they're going with it. Okay, you know, I just don't understand why Mahal has this long title reign. Look, this is insane. Like they need dudes that shouldn't even have titles have long title reigns, and then there's other dudes that never get the title. It's fucking insane. The truth, the Divas also has become a joke. Yep. Yeah, the truth, even African American ones stopped them becoming dancing, rapping stereotypes. Every single quote unquote ethnic group, they have to play that stereotype. It's fucking insane, right? I mean, it's crazy. It honestly is. Like the Rusev character was so stupid. Like I always wondered to myself, like when they had him be this Russian dude that was bashing America, I was just like, well, what is this? We're not even in a Cold War anymore. What the fuck is this? It made no sense. But oh well. What can you do? Vince McMahon has always been terrible, man. Like Bret Hart, you saw a white guy? All right, we're going to make you a cowboy. I mean, it's just stupid. It's a good thing Bret said no, right? It's like, no, I'm not going to be a cowboy. Like, what the fuck? Guru guys and watched wrestling over 20 years. Good. You're not missing anything. I've watched wrestling less in the last 3 months than I've ever watched wrestling in the period of 3 months, right? I've never watched wrestling, so little in my life. It's never happened. In my opinion, boxing fan, I see what you're saying to blame the rosters. The WWE needs to have one roster. I don't get this 2-roster thing. For what? This is all the WWE has to do. Okay, it's really simple. They just don't do it. Maybe because they don't have to, but all they would need to do is this. You have one world champion, one, right? You have, what's called mid-card championship, right? And of course, you have your women's championship. You could have the cruiserweight championship and the tag team titles, right? So this is really all you do, right? So you go division by division. Number one, when guys first join the roster, they could join one of two ways. They could join on the undercard, okay, or they could join in the tag team division, right? And they work their ways up. And then you have your obviously you have your mid-card, level wrestlers, and you have your upper card level wrestlers. But what you do is, right, and they did this for years. I just don't know why they don't do it anymore. When they had the Intercontinental Championship, they would hand that belt to someone, and they would see how the crowd would react to them, right? It was a go rate to gauge how this person's going to handle themselves as world champion in the future. That's why you kind of, if you go back to WWE history, you can see Ultimate Warrior had the Intercontinental Championship. Everybody kind of knew he was eventually going to go for that heavyweight championship, right? Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels, right? They had the Intercontinental Championship. Diesel, like you knew they were coming for it. Stone Cold had the Intercontinental Championship, right? You knew he was coming. He was gunning for that world title at some point, right? And as you moved on, I mean, The Rock, Triple H, you knew they were coming for that world championship. And these were big matches, right? People look forward to it. People love the mid-card. The mid-card, for the most part, had the best matches because those guys, right, were doing everything to be given the quote-unquote shot, right? They wanted to get that. So that's why they were working on their craft. They were doing a great job on the mic. They were being original, right? They were putting on great matches. They were doing what they could to get a crowd reaction because they wanted to get that Intercontinental Championship, to have a run with it, to show, the boss, hey, I could put asses in seats. I couldn't get a reaction from the crowd. I could show that I'm over. I could show I have heat, right? And then they move you up, and you start having matches there. What happened to #1 contendership matches? What happened to that? When is the last time the WWE has done a #1 contendership match at a pay-per-view? No, they don't do that. Why? Because they want to have six-pack challenges the following night on Raw. Just they have 6 dudes come out saying they want a title shot, and then they just do a six-pack challenge. It's stupid. You have a guy get on a winning streak, right? So you could tell the whole story. And that's how you sell that guy. And you have the footage, and you can show it. If you think your audience has a short memory, you can show them the clips. You have the video footage. Do montages about them. Like, so-and-so, Wrestler X is about to get his title shot, right? He started in the WWE, in the tag team division. While they had a decent run, things did not work out with his partner. They broke up. He decided to go to the singles division. He worked his way up to the Intercontinental Championship, which he defended, quote, such and such times. He's been on a tear, on a winning streak, and now here he is on a #1 contendership match against former world champion, blah, 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 blah. The winner of this match will face the champion at the next pay-per-view. It's called promotion. It's called build. The chase. They did that. It worked with Shawn Michaels, The Boyhood Dream. And I'm sorry to say, not everyone is going to succeed. Not everyone needs to become a world champion. You don't need a roster where half the roster is a former world champion. The title loses prestige that way. When someone becomes #1 contender, it should be a big deal. Like, I remember, right? Like, nowadays, everybody's a 6, 7, 8, 9 time fucking world champion. It's fucking crazy. They play hot potato with that title. And then, how many times? I think Roman Reigns has won the title more times than Bret Hart. Wrap your head around that. Bret Hart won it 4 times. What was it? 4 or 3? Whatever it was. I mean, it's crazy. Right now, there should be like that. Who's the one wrestler they have on the roster? Because winning doesn't matter in the WWE. They showed that this is why I stopped watching when Jinder Mahal won. Not because Jinder Mahal's terrible, and he is. He's very terrible. But they killed the whole purpose of watching. Why watch to see why should I get excited, right? Let's say I see a guy make his WWE debut, right? And let's say he's on a winning streak. It looks like he's about to win an Intercontinental Championship or something. But they don't even do stuff like that anymore, right? But let's just say that was the case. Why am I going to get excited about it if it doesn't mean anything? Why am I going to get excited if a dude's in a winning streak when winning doesn't matter? They make that very clear. Jinder Mahal was a fucking jobber just a week before. Just a week before, he was getting jobbed out. And then all of a sudden, he's the #1 contender because he won a 5-pack challenge? Then why even win? The winning doesn't matter then. And they've even said it when Triple H goes on interviews and says, winning and losing is not that important. Then why the fuck do we watch it then? What's the whole point? There's no point to it. Winning and losing does matter, okay? It does. It matters. Even though it's scripted, it matters because that's the story. It's like saying kill and be killed doesn't matter, okay? It doesn't matter in Game of Thrones. Of course it matters. It's called Game of Thrones. They're fighting for power. Of course it matters who gets killed, who doesn't get killed. Unless you're Jon Snow, you're not gonna come back to life, right? Jon Snow pulled a fucking Roman Reigns and came back to life after getting hit with fucking 17 daggers. Well, we all know if Roman Reigns or John Cena got stabbed with 17 daggers, they kick out of 2. All right? That's how ridiculous it is. I mean, holy shit. They killed the chase, right? Like the Shawn Michaels story, like before his match with Bret Hart. They told the whole story from when he was a kid, when he had dreams of being world champion, from when he was with the Rockers and he separated from Marty Jannetty and he went on to the singles run, became Intercontinental Championship, had several rivalries there. And then he started to work his way towards the WWE Championship, won several matches, and he was on his way to, he became #1 contender while he won the Royal Rumble. But nonetheless, he won the Royal Rumble, and then he was going to go face Bret the Hitman Hart at WrestleMania. The only exception should be the Royal Rumble. That's it. Other than that, everyone should have to become, right, #1 contender, but they don't do it that way. They're too fucking lazy. They don't want to bother. They don't have the patience to build a guy over the months and years for that moment. Like they have the roster to do it. They have enough people around the world to do it, but they don't want to bother, right? They don't want to bother. They want to do 50-50 booking. They want some guys to have winning streaks 1 month, lose all their matches another month, and then any random moment they could put them in a title shot and win the title for no reason. They want to do ladder matches with 17 guys and the winner wins a title. I mean, it's just, and just any one of them could just win. And if they win it, it really doesn't mean anything. I mean, it's getting crazy and it's getting insane, right? You put the title on the guy you think is going to be able to carry that championship, right? But you leave it on the ones, okay, that are getting the crowd reaction and getting the proper heat, and you take it off of the ones that aren't doing it, and you put them back to the back of the line, right? Or you use them to feed the guys that are doing that, right? That's it. There was no 50-50 booking with Stone Cold. There was no 50-50 booking when Bret Hart was wrestling. There was no 50-50 booking with Hulk Hogan and, and the Macho Man. And that didn't exist. They want to make everybody a world champion. I mean, I hate to bring up this name, but Chris Benoit was in the business for years. When he finally got his title shot, that's why it was a big deal when he won. When Stone Cold got his first title shot, Stone Cold Steve Austin. I mean, let me tell you where the wrestling business has gone, okay? Jinder Mahal was getting jobbed out on Raw, okay? He couldn't even win the Andre the Giant Battle Memorial, whatever they called it, okay? They had him get hit by that Patriots player, okay, and made him look like an idiot at fucking WrestleMania. And then they jobbed him out to, what the fuck is his name? I forgot the guy's name, all right? But they jobbed him out to that Irish dude or whatever he is, okay? But they jobbed him out, okay? Finn Balor, okay, that's his name. They job him out to Finn Balor. They throw him over at Raw, on SmackDown, I'm sorry. Okay, he loses his first, he gets jobbed out in his first night on SmackDown. Literally, the following week, he's in a 5-pack challenge to determine the #1 contender, and he wins. Jinder Mahal, just like that, got a title shot. After losing and losing and losing. How does that even make sense? How does that make sense? You can't lose and get title shots in any other sport. I get it. It's scripted, but still. Now, contrast to this. I don't even have to bring up the boyhood dream and all that, okay? First of all, guys like Bret Hart, like Shawn Michaels, like Triple H, like Stone Cold, like The Rock, right? Were intercontinental champions before, right? And they had reigns and big feuds to prove to people that they can take the ball and run with it, right? That's number one. They didn't just randomly put them in the six-pack challenge, right? When Stone Cold Steve Austin got his first title shot, I'll never forget, he got on a podium and he said, I've been busting my ass for 8 years for this moment to get my title shot. When a wrestler gets a title shot at the World Championship, it should be the biggest fucking deal imaginable. If you don't sell it that way, the audience isn't going to feel it that way, right? If you don't sell it that way to people, no one's going to buy it. The WWE has been doing a terrible job over the last few years. Okay, and it's been getting worse and worse and worse. There's really no reason to watch a regular match on Raw. There's just no reason. Like when you hear, okay, after commercial break, Randy Orton's going to wrestle Rusev, it really doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who wins. It doesn't matter how the match ends. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. It's going to play no role in what happens next month and the month after that and the year after that. It's going to play no role. There are no setbacks in the WWE. Losing should be a setback. It should be a very disappointing moment for the wrestler because, you know, when you win, you take one step forward. When you lose, you take 10 steps back. That's how they should make it feel. A loss should be devastating to a guy who's trying to climb up the ladder. But no, you could lose every week, and don't sweat it. I mean, any moment they'll make you world champion. Don't worry about it. This is insane. This is unbelievable. Wrestling is just terrible. Or guy, I know. I get you. The truth. Who was your best Intercontinental champion this time? I was Scott Hall as Rich Ramon. That was a really good Intercontinental champion. I think Shawn Michaels did go with it. I think Stone Cold was good with the title. So a lot of guys out there, man. When I was a kid, Ultimate Warrior, you know, did they serve their purpose? Nia Jax walked out on Raw. Well, Black Lad said Shawn Michaels is the greatest wrestler of all time. Also like Junkyard Dog and Coco Beware. I don't know if Shawn Michaels is the best of all time, but he is probably the best all around. And when you mix his mic skills and you mix his storytelling and his wrestling ability and all that, you're probably right. You know, they're definitely a hell of a talent, way ahead of his time, that's for sure. There's no story anymore in wrestling. It just isn't. You know, there's no Everybody knows that it's going to be Roman Reigns on top no matter what. You know, everybody knows that John Cena comes back, he's going to be on top no matter what. Everybody and everybody knows it's not because they're earning it. It's not because they're the best. You know, it's not because it's they're competing against the best and then they're doing the best mic work, the best in-ring work, getting the best reactions. It's not that. It's just that the machine is deciding to push that. And to me, it's not organic, you know. And even though wrestling's scripted, it can still be organic, you know. And it's not organic with Roman Reigns or Mahal. They made Mahal champion because they want a fan base. Okay, they really want that money out of India. That's the only reason they made him world champion. That's it. Anyway, that's all I really got to say about that. I really do wish that matches actually had implications. People would probably tune in to watch them more. If you knew that a match on Raw is going to put somebody in line to eventually, become number one contender, or if you know where this is going to go, like if we had an idea, then maybe we would watch. Maybe the matches would mean more. There wouldn't just be a bunch of meaningful matches that mean nothing for no apparent reason. And yes, you could still have it a grudge match, and you could still have drama and all that good stuff, but winning and losing has to mean something. And that's all. That's my rant. I'm out of here. Peace out.